Hello, everybody. Jessica here with my day 13 of my 100-day meditation journey. I did get my meditation done right away this morning, and it was a very insightful one, which I enjoyed. If you watched my video from yesterday, you know I was in a little fender bender and was kind of trying to observe all the emotions around that. It was very minor and no injuries, but just the right and wrong of it, who was right, who was wrong, kind of had me pretty emotional. And it was interesting because last night I finally figured out what had actually happened because what she told me she had done, I didn't see it coming at all. What she had told me she had done didn't make sense, but I finally figured it out, and um, it was interesting because I watched my emotions shift from kind of fear and worry about did I do something wrong to realizing she was in the wrong, and my mood just instantly changed. And to be at the mercy of our external circumstances like that to feel good is, I think, a part of what meditation is all about. To realize that you are separate from all of that, not as in you're your own island, but that circumstances are going to come and go all the time. And if we allow those circumstances to dictate how we feel, and not just about the world around us, but about ourselves, then we're just going to be bumped all over all the time and feel completely out of control. So this whole thing has been a gift. My ego just screamed in my head, "What do you mean gift?" Because it's given me the opportunity to practice witnessing my reaction to outside circumstances, and so to be able to go through that experience and go through all those emotional waves, but also to be able to observe that and at some level understand I'm bigger than all of it, that we're all bigger than all of it. Because last night I kind of went back up in the emotions because I realized, oh, it wasn't my fault. Oh, good, oh, good, oh, good. And then I talked to the adjuster this morning, and he said, well, it looks like since there wasn't a police report and all this stuff, it's going to be probably 50-50. And I went kind of back down again with my emotions. So it's just been interesting to observe myself, and kind of through my meditation, I was able to start to begin to pull myself away from that and realize I am not this event. I am not how I feel about myself and about the world around me doesn't have to be dictated by an event around me, especially one so pretty insignificant where nobody was hurt. It's very minor damage, but still it seemed to grip me and take me for a bit of a ride. Still is, but at some level I'm also observing that. So that was kind of one interesting aspect of my meditation this morning. And the other was a kind of a very enlightening revelation. For years now, I've realized, I realized a while back through all my training that I'm very in my head, obviously. And I wanted to move a lot of my knowing into my heart, into my body, so I could live more balanced and not just go up here for everything, but have a balance between heart and head. And I, kept saying I didn't know how to do that, and that was something I'd really have to practice, and, I didn't have experience at it. And it really dawned on me today that I really, really do know what that means to live from the heart, to move from your body rather than from your head. And because I, for some reason, thought of a TED Talk I had seen a while back, and it was a conductor of a major symphony orchestra, and he was talking about the progression of a child who's learning to play the piano. And they start out, they're kind of banging one note at a time, and it's very even all the way through, and he goes year by year to where they play the movement. They don't just play notes. It's like a feeling that they have, and they play not only the notes but the spaces in between, and the phraseology, and the soft and loud, and the And I was so inspired by it because I know that feeling when I play piano. And he actually did one thing where he played a little phrase and he ended up leaning and said, "You see this? You see that? I didn't do this. The music pushed me over." He says it's what we call one buttock playing. And I went, "Oh my God, I do that. That's what I do. When I play, I end up on one cheek, so to speak. And not so to speak, I do. I end up on one cheek." And it for some reason in my meditation this morning, it dawned on me that when I play from my body. I don't play from my mind at all. There is a little bit of that because I am reading the notes, but I just use them as guides along the way. But I feel the music in my body and I allow the music to move me. And so I thought, what a wonderful thing. Now I, I know what it is to live from your body, to live from your heart. So I can use that understanding from the area of playing the piano into other things of my life, into my relationships, into my business, into my um, desire to create new healthy habits, into what I decide to do for the day. Whatever it is, I do know what that is. So there's two things I want to ask you. Is there other things in your life um, that work well for you, and not just because they're logical and organized, but because you feel them, they feel good to you? And how might you transpose that onto other areas of your life that maybe don't feel as comfortable? The other one goes back to what I was talking about with my little accident yesterday. And what it reminded me of was the need that we have to be right. The need that we have not only to be right, but I think more in my case with this, it was to be perfect. That I don't like to admit that I make mistakes. And if I make mistakes, then I feel bad about myself. And so this whole accident has made me understand that even if I did make a mistake, I don't have to let that change how I feel about myself. Um, and it reminded me of a lot of things that I drag my feet on, a lot of projects that I'm excited about that I don't begin because I'm afraid it won't be perfect right out of the gate, which is an unnecessary expectation that I think a lot of us put on ourselves. So the question that I wanted to ask you is, are there things in your life that you really want to do, to experience whatever, that you keep putting off because you don't think you'll do it right, or it won't be perfect, or you're afraid of looking like an idiot because you're new at it? What are those things, and how might you take a step towards that? So if you so feel, go ahead and post in the comments. I'd love to hear what are those things that you've been holding off on because of your fear of not being perfect, because of your fear of making a mistake, because of your fear of how you might look in front of others if you don't do it right the first time. And how might you take one step in that direction? To be okay with imperfection, to be okay with mistakes, to be okay with being a novice at something, especially since you're just learning it. I would love to hear your stories. One of mine, just to share with you, is I'm creating a game right now. And I'm at the point where it's at the very detailed level of how I have to figure out the mechanics of how this all works. And I'm afraid I won't do it right the first time and I'll have to come back and keep working on it. But that's exciting because I love working on it. But my fear of it being imperfect is keeping me from working on it as much as I actually really want to. So my goal today is to work on my game for a couple hours and try to progress that along through this kind of dense portion of the creation period. So let me know down below, what are those things that you can start moving forward on, being aware of any fears that you have, but yet still taking a step in that direction. I'd love to hear it. So that was day 13. You can tell it's a little different for me, different energy. I feel a different energy about me. Who knows what tomorrow will be like? It'll be interesting to see. So I will see you tomorrow for day 14. Take care, everybody. Bye-bye.